Howdy, folks. This is going to be just a quick one. Steve here, K1GMM. Wanted to do a couple updates, just share some things, what's going on with the website. Not much, but there's been a few things I've been meaning to address. So I just wanted to show you. Let me get the website up. Wrong one. What I'm going to do, I put this right on the main page of the website down here. So if anybody has a suggestion, or not so much a suggestion, but if you have questions, anything that you'd like me to cover regarding the material on this website, there's a chat. You see this little button right here? It says let's chat. Send me a message through that chat and I will acknowledge it, and I will address your questions or anything there. Anything that you'd like me to explore in more detail, or anything you'd like me to cover, I'd be happy to do that to make it easier. I was thinking that I was talking to someone this morning and he's just not too computer savvy. So I got thinking about it and I thought, well, I want to make this as easy as possible for people. Now, I haven't done any additional work on the TX side as far as the systems running a DAW or anything like that, but I've done more work on the RX side. And on the website here, if you go to more, you'll notice if you frequented the site, or you frequent it off and on, you'll notice that I combined the IC7300 with the SDR2DX Virtual RX Enhancement. So the CWP, the Cakewalk file, has been updated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag this. Actually, why don't I just go to the other screen and show you? So this right here is not an accurate representation of what I have running. It's close, but I removed the modern expander. So the CWP has been updated, and this system works on the 7300 and the Sun SDR2DX. It'll pretty much work on everything. Okay, so that's been updated, and that was updated. The CWP was updated on 9/24 of last month, 24th of September. And basically, to drive that entire system, you use your RF gain or the AGCT. Or the gain knob on the second sound card. Hey, Mikey, how you doing? So I just wanted, if you guys peruse through here, you'll probably notice that they're subtle changes, but I felt I should actually simplify it. I'm a little concerned because there's so much information on here that it would be overwhelming to some folks. So if you go back up to here, so how do I explain this? So if you look right here, you'll see the ICOM 7300 RXDSP / VST host. This is a different interface system to this one right here. And this is where I was thinking it's a little confusing to people. And I wanted to explain the difference between the two. So if you're running this system, the RXDSP system, on Cakewalk, on a DAW, I found that if you try to run your TX audio through the DAW, oh, you're welcome, Doug. How you doing, buddy? If you try to run your TX audio through the DAW, the latency that is created, I don't know if this happens with all DAWs, but it is horrific. Everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and it shouldn't do that because you're only using 2 channels. I think it has something to do with the plugins. Plugins may be very tasking. So this setup right here is strictly oriented to a person who brings audio in analog into the front of the rig. Let's say you're using just a microphone into the front of the rig, could be a fist mic, could be a full-blown rack. You're not using a DAW to bring audio, to process your TX audio and send it to your rig, okay, virtually. That's what this is for. This page right here, you'll notice it references a CWP, which is a Cakewalk launch file. So that's the DAW running on the RXDSP, no TX audio running on the DAW. I'm trying to figure out how to do this so people understand which one is relevant to their application. So if you go back up to here to more, and you go to the ICOM 7300 RXTSP / VST host, this setup is for someone who doesn't want to deal with the DAW, or someone who is processing their audio, their TX audio on the DAW. So this is a whole, VST host is a whole separate system, separate piece of software, does not induce any added latency to the RX side or the TX side by running both of them in the DAW simultaneously, which I have not had good success with that. So that's what this is for. So the 7300 RXDSP VST host, this could be applicable to any rig, anything, even the sun. So hang on for a second. Okay, so I'm trying to sort some things out on the other monitor. All right, so this is the DAW side for the RX only. And this is for the RX side as well, but as it says, DSP alternative VST host. So if you're running your TX audio through a DAW, this will work. This will give you the RX side of the equation. So that's the most important thing I wanted to go over, because people are probably thinking, well, I don't get it. Why, what's the difference between those two? I'm trying to figure out how to categorize it on the page so people understand it. But I figured I'd address this because the site is getting hit. I know when it gets hit because the app I have tells me who's, where the person is roughly geographically, who's hitting it. It doesn't get hit a lot, but people are looking at it. So it's important that I clarify all this garbage. I'm trying to think. I think that was the most important thing. So let me jump over to the other screen quick. And this is going to be kind of carnage here. So bear with it. But there's one thing I wanted to show you. Okay, this window right here is the RXDSP, and you can hear the dog playing and barking upstairs. Psycho. So this is the RXDSP running on the sun. So, or could be the 7300. So if you've been following this for any length of time, you'll notice I removed some things. I removed the monitor expander. I was using it as a downward expander, found I didn't need it. So basically I have just the bit presser running, the reefer subtract plugin. This is running, which is a noise reduction. This is the gate, configured as a gate. Okay, and this slider right here, you may want to play with this slider, the gate floor. Fart around with that a little bit. I was playing with it today. But again, that CWP file that you download has all of this pre-configured. All you need to do is just install the plugins and point your DAW Cakewalk to look at the directory where those plugins are at. I would install Cakewalk first and then install the plugins after that. And then when you download the CWP file, most likely it's going to do a scan. It's going to find them all, and it'll just open up the CWP, and boom, you're off and running. It's got the Bertom denoiser in there. That's in there, and the Bitsonic, which I'm using this primarily as, if you guys watch the stream on Sunday on 10 meters, if you pay attention to the signal strength of some of those signals, yes, you will hear artifacting. I was listening to it again. Hey, Mohammed. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So if you look at the signal strength on the meter, and then you listen to the audio, yes, I can hear artifacting in there. And I was kind of disturbed at that, because I always go back in and I skip through the video to make sure everything's okay. I don't watch my own videos unless I forget something and I have to go back in and figure out how to do it. I can't stomach to see myself or hear my own voice. So, I noticed that the artifacting was there, and then I realized that the signals were not that strong. So if you notice some of those S5 signals, they sounded like they were 40 over. So what this system does, I call it basically a cloud lifter for the RX side. What I should have done is I should have toggled the, what you call it there. I should have toggled the sound card back and forth, on and off of this system, so you could hear the native front end without it and then hear it with it. And it's quite startling. It's actually pretty shocking. So weak signals in an S5 area, yes, you will hear a little artifacting going on, but it literally, if you go back in and listen to that video closely, and then you look at the signal strength, like a S7, S9 signal is pretty damn quiet, and it's literally 40 to 60 over. That's what it sounds like. It's just blasting. And it's like, that's what I call it, a cloud lifter. It's a cloud lifter for the RX side. It's incredible. And no, it is not a preamp, because it doesn't increase the noise. It actually strips the noise and picks the audio up out of the noise. So most people will think, well, what good is that? I can just use a preamp. No, it is not a preamp. It is a whole different system compared to a preamp. Preamp brings everything in. This does not. This will take the audio right off the noise floor and make it sound like it's 20 to 40 over with very little artifacting. Through speakers, you cannot hear the artifacting at all. Can't hear it. On headphones, you can on the weaker signals. So I wanted to show you that. So what I'm going to do quick is I'm going to light up let me get back over here. So I'm going to light up, I hope I don't train wreck anything. Shut this down. Okay, and I'm going to shut down Banana. Freaking Banana. Banana's been good. It's been very stable. It is quirky though. Like when I disable all the plugins, I can do a global disable on the plugins in Cakewalk. It farts. It has a brain out and everything goes distorted, and I have to toggle it a couple times, and then all of a sudden, boom, it comes back. So yeah, typical Banana garbage. But when it's running, I have yet to have a problem with it. I've been running it for probably, 3 weeks now, and absolutely zero issues with it. It just sits there and runs. So whatever, I'll go with it. Okay, I got to find, let's shut this down. And I will find VST host. I haven't used this in a while. There it is. So let's get back over here. We'll open VST host. Okay. So VST host has the exact same plugins in it. Unfortunately, I don't think I can give you a VST host configuration file. I don't think it will work like that, which would be super easy. So, but you know, you can figure out okay, hang on to your lug nuts because something doesn't seem right here. There we go. So, yeah, I can't give you a configuration file because I don't think you'll be able to open it and just have everything open pre-configured. I don't think VST host works like that. Somebody may be able to correct me, but I really don't know. Now, VST host, remember what I was saying about the website. So let's say you're running the DAW for your TX audio. And hey, Andy, how's it going, man? Just a quick clarification on some things for folks on the website, Andy, seeing as how you're late coming in, which is fine. It's always good to see you. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, man? So remember, the VST host running on the RXDSP is for those that are using the DAW for the TX audio. Okay, same exact card setup, except that it's actually better. I don't like the sound quality of it compared to the DAW. It does sound a little different for some reason. Don't know why. It probably has something to do with the codec. I don't know. So, does it work? Yeah, it works really well. But it doesn't use Banana, which is always a plus. That's a bonus. Banana is never stable for me. There's always something quirky with Banana, but it's been working for this application great. Anyways, so that's it for that. I'm going to back the card down just to make sure it is in fact working. I haven't run this in a while. See if I can find a signal that's actually transmitting. I guess that guy's in there. Okay, so I have to change. That's right. In voice.
This is Kilo November 4, Charlie Oscar Echo, Parks on the air.
Okay, so that's the VST host running.
Okay, somebody did my call sign first, so let's go with that. AD2CA, is that it?
Meter double bazooka. It's an inverted V at about 50 feet above the ground. Kilo Bravo 2 Oscar Yankee India from November 0 Juliet Quebec X-ray.
Why is my monitor on? I'm going to have to go in. Hold on. Let me reset this. What's this profile? That's weird. Don't know why my monitor was on. I must have hit it. Oh, I hit it by accident. I thought I was hitting mute over here. Okay. I thought I'd have to change the profile. All right. So let me mute this. I'll get over to the chat. And I was going to have, if anybody's got a question. Okay, there is a question. That's Mike. So which of those two you prefer to use most, VST host or DAW for the 7300? If you're not using the DAW for TX, Mike, I would definitely use the DAW for the RX side. Boy, the dog is mental up there. I would prefer the DAW. A couple reasons. It's easier because all you have to do is just install the plugins, install Cakewalk, and literally download the CWP, and boom, you're off and running. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to touch anything. You don't have to go into the software and tweak anything. It's all ready to go. It's all set up. The only thing you have to adjust is your gain on your card, or the RF gain on the radio. So let's say you were running. If you were running, where is that thing? What do I do with it? Hold on. I don't think people really understand how cheap this can be. Let me get over to the camera here. It may. Yes, I would be using just So I would use just the DAW mic. I would absolutely use that over VST host. Latency will be lower. The latency is about the equivalent of if you're running SDR console. If you've ever played with SDR console, or you're running the MR 192. So, let me think about this. What is the best way for you to do this? So the 192 is your primary station card. Are you running SDR console or anything else attached to the 7300? Answer that question for me. And I will show you this again. So this is a little $10 card. So if you're running the M Audio Air 192, yes, I'm running SDR console as well. Okay. Now, are you using SDR console to actually listen? If you are, I wonder if I should patch in the 7300. SDR console is pretty good. It beats the sun. With a good dongle, if you're listening to the audio through SDR console, it beats the sun. The AGCT and the noise reduction is superior to the sun. Okay, so you are. Okay. So what you would need to do, how did I do it? Because I had it running. If you guys have a minute, let me patch the 7300 in. I'm going to kill the sun. See if I can remember this. I have to... Okay, there it is. She is hot. Using RSP1A. Okay. So now I have to, let's get console up and running. Let me mute this on OBS in case it comes blasting in and all hell breaks loose here. Let's get over to the other monitor. Console's coming online. Okay. Boy, noisy on 20. A lot of stuff going on. So let's go over here. So what we're going to do, let me get the headphones. Oh, it is set up. So I'm going to actually close this. And I'm going to reopen. So I'm going to relaunch Banana and the DAW on the RX side. So let me get this up and running there. Yep, it's running. See if I can find a more consistent signal for you. Horrid QSB figures. The band is starting to puke. So typical. Every time I'm on here, I want to show you guys something. The band's puking. Oh, SDR console just crashed. Haha. Never had that happen before. That's interesting. Okay, let's restart it. I've never had console crash. That's a piece of work right there. But I've never done this in the middle of a stream. it lost sync. There we go. Oh, no, I am pointed. I really need a consistent signal, and this is probably going to just chap my ass. I may have to go to 80 meters. No, everybody's too short, man. Every time I click on something, they just...
Florida, Kilo Alfa 4, Francia, America, Francia, Francisco Franco, y la wiki.
Okay, so the system is running on console, which is really freaking awesome. Really awesome. So Mike, if you were going to do this with console, let me show you. What I would do is I would get yourself... What happened to my... Why is my head being cut off? Am I sitting up like extra straight? What I would do is I would get yourself one of these $10. Just order one. You do anything with passing audio in and out of these rigs, you got to have one of these. Little Sabrent, I did a video on it. $10. It's worth its weight in gold in a patch cable. All right. What this will do, okay, you can set your... Let me get this over here. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to set console up. This is for with the DAW. You're going to set console up to use the USB audio device, which is the Sabrent sound card. And you've got an M Audio Air, right? So what you need to do is you need to get... Now, you could do it a couple different ways. You could use VB cable, right? So if you didn't want to use the card, I'm trying to think of how you do that without... Holy crap. Let me check the chat. Yes. Okay. Oh, you have a Sabrent? Oh, crap. All right. So again, are you using the M Audio Air? How are you getting audio into the radio? Because I got to ask you this before I go any further, Mike. How are you getting the audio in to your rig? Are you using the M Audio Air card for that? I'll let you go ahead and respond. Boy, a lot of lag in the stream. No answer. Okay, Heil cable to rig. So there's no audio. You're not using the M-Audio Air 192.4 to deal with that, right? Okay, this is what you do. You take your Sabrent, your little Sabrent, and you set SDR console to use this right here. It's going to be speakers, USB audio device. Okay? So once that's set, what that will do is it will send the audio from console to this. Then what you need is you need a patch cord, which would be a 3.5 TRS. You come out of this and into channel 2 of your M-Audio card. Okay? Where are we? So we come into channel 2 of this right here, which would be just a TRS out, 1/8 TRS to a 1/4 inch TRS. Plug it into the card. And then what you want to do is you want to go to, where did it go? Oh, it's on the other screen. So I'll just pull it over here. Then what you want to do is you want to light up Banana, and you want to set up your M-Audio, set up your hardware input to use, see this? KS M-Audio Air 192.4 stereo in 1.2. You want to set that to the M-Audio card, all right? Now, you come over here, make sure your B2 is on, and A1, you stream, so you'll need A1 and A2 on over here. You want to configure your hardware outputs, I mean. A1, I have mine set to the M-Audio Air 192.4 ASIO. And A2, I have set to WDM Realtek speakers, which is how I'm getting the audio to the stream from the rig. Okay? So once you do that, then you just kick on A1, A2. Now we have to go over to the DAW. So you open the DAW, go to Preferences, and you're going to want to select under Devices, you want Voice Meter Aux. Voice Meter Aux Virtual ASIO, check down both input and output. Hit Apply, bada boom. Now what will happen is the audio will come out of console and into this, into Banana. So if I click, let me unmute the channel here. Go to who's transmitting fairly consistently. Oh, that guy's still in there.
Y saludo a doña Cristiana, todo allá en casita. 73, don Antonio, hasta mañana si Dios quiere. Y lo del Tadolima.
I'd really like an English-speaking station. Really don't have any rag chewers on. Okay. So,
Rich in Colorado, we got you. Whiskey Zero, Radio Charlie Hotel.
okay, so go through the steps. Console, you want to set the USB audio device. All right, and always make sure your sample rates are all the same. Check your sample rates in the sound settings. Go through each device you have and make sure they're set at 48 kilohertz. You want them all the same, whatever you're running. So USB three USB audio device is the Sabrent card. This will pipe audio. So I'm going to actually mute this so you can see what's happening. And then I'll unmute this. You won't be able to hear it, but you'll see it. Okay. So this sends audio to the Sabrent. You're coming out of the Sabrent into the line in of the M audio card right here, which you can see this meter moving. That's the line in, but I'm on the Behringer, but that's what it would look like, right? And then it communicates with, he's not talking right now. There we go. So if you watch Cakewalk right here, you'll see the meters moving. And then it goes into Cakewalk, it's processed, and bada boom, bada bing, it comes back to Banana, and it's piped out through your M audio card, depending on which one of these you have set. If it's A1, it'll come straight out through your M audio card. If it's A2, you can send it out through A2 directly to your stream. Because remember, you can't share ASIO drivers. So, excuse me. So that's how it works. It seems complicated, but if you understand the flow of where everything's going, it's actually not. And the interesting thing about this is you can run this natively on the front end of the 7300, and it's damn close to as good as, like, what I do now, Mike. I don't even use the audio on console anymore. I just run on the 7300, the audio on the 7300, and I process that. And that is surprisingly good. Really, really good. So the reason why I did this is because I wanted people the option so they didn't have to go out and buy a dongle and run console. So I run console basically as a control surface now. That's all I use it for. Unless I need diversity, which then I light up the Duo, and I use it on Uno, STR Uno. Do you understand what I just did there, Mike? Okay. Cable not using. Okay, you got it. So this is on tape. Okay, so this is why I wanted to do this. So I just ran through that, and I think I explained everything that you need. If you have a question, hit me via email, dude. Shoot me an email. Go down QRZ or shoot me a message on the chat. Go to the website and hit me. I'll get back to you. But you shouldn't have an issue. So there you go. Oh, you're waiting on your plane. Traveling man. All right. So I have got to get out of here. I got to go get dinner. And hopefully that was of some help. I don't know. I'm really trying hard not to confuse anybody. And this can be so confusing for people who have never done this before. Like if you were, I'm a little nervous because if you were to say to me, hey, can you walk me through how to get this running on the 7300? I don't know if I could do that. I think I could because I can't remember, Mike. I can't remember all this stuff. It's simple, but you know, VK5 Fuse. Hey, yeah. How you doing, man? All is well. Thank you for sharing your information, programs you use, and all your experience with us. You're absolutely welcome. And yeah, that's why I'm putting this video up. I'm thinking. Go back to the beginning of the video and pay attention to what I said in the beginning regarding if you guys have any suggestions, you want to see me explore something deeper. If you're confused about something, you need clarification, please let me know through the chat on the website. The website is linked on this video in the description. Go to the website, hit the chat, identify yourself, say, hey, I'm confused about this, or can you go deeper into this? I don't understand. Because there's no point in me doing this. You know, there's no point in me doing this if nobody understands what the hell I'm doing. They can't make it work. So making it work is really important. Because I mean, all this work is for nothing. So, and it may not even appeal to people, but, Dean, if you get stuck, one thing you can always do, and this is what I say, you don't need a big external sound card to do this. This right here, $10 for this, worth its weight in gold. Set your rig, your USB audio codec, or the SDR software to play back through this, okay? Then come out of this and into the line in of your computer and set banana. Check this out. Set this to use like the MME or the WDM line in on the computer sound card. Boom, you've got the same thing. You're just not using a high-end card. You don't need a high-end card to make this work. So you'd need a Sabrent, something like this, one external sound card, and a patch cable. So in this case, it would be a TRS out. I think you may have to play with that. A 3.5 TRS out of this, out of the speaker out, the green, into the line in of the computer, which would be a TRS 3.5 as well. You may only need the tip or the ring. I'm not sure which, because if it's a line in, I don't know if it hears in stereo. But you're going to be running in mono anyways, right? And that's it. That's all you need. So you know, you don't need all this other crap. You don't. Well, let me get back over here, see what's going on. Dean, you're welcome, dude. Absolutely welcome. So again, I'm out of here. I got to go up and have dinner, but I hope, and I wanted to say I am not ignoring the TX side. It's just that I've got the TX side completely sorted here in the station. I can either run the DAW if I, feel like it, or I can run the rack, and I'm on the rack. So I love the rack stuff. I moved off the DAW. I'm back on the rack. I just want things to be clean and simple, and the rack is just anytime you put things in the virtual realm, I kind of look at it this way. Like the TX side is very important to me, and I don't like the idea of having a compromise on the TX side. The RX side, what's the big deal, right? If I'm listening or I'm in the middle of a QSO and the stupid DAW goes sideways on me, what's the big deal? If I'm on the 7300, I just turn the volume up on the 7300 and I'll straighten it out later. If I'm on one of the SDRs like the Sun, so what? I just go to the sound card, select M Audio, the external sound card, boom. I have raw audio right off the native front end and I'm back in business in a click of a mouse. The TX side, what I found is that it works great and you get better control with the DAW. The problem I found is that you can have things go sideways virtually in the computer, in the processing of it, and you won't know it until somebody, and you'll be sitting there yapping like I am right now, and the freaking audio's all screwed up. Never, ever happens on the rack. So that's why I love the rack. That's an important aspect to me. The RX side, hey, this is a bonus. And it is flipping nice, man. I love it. I love it. You know, if you can take an S5 signal, make it sound like it's 40 over, that's freaking crazy, man. I don't know of any other radio, any other system that can do that on the planet. If you guys find one, show me, because I'm curious. I want to see it, and I want to know how it works, because I want it. So anyways, we'll see you guys later. Have a good evening, good morning over in VK land. Really good to see you guys. We're making it halfway around the globe. It's very cool. I think that's it. 7-3 guys, I'm going to sign off, and we'll catch you later. Don't forget, if you have a question or you're confused, don't be bashful. Get on there, hit the chat, put that question in there. I will address it with a video. And if it doesn't need a video, I'll address it on the website. I'm not going to just like chat. I'm not perfect. And I need you guys to give me some feedback to make sure that I'm getting through here. I put a lot of work into this, man. Months of time into this. And to have it fail is not cool. Yep, we'll see you later, Mike. Yep. Yeah, Mike. It works good, don't get me wrong, but it is quirky, man. It's a quirky beast. I don't know. I was kind of excited about it at first, but I really don't have any desire to play the DAW. Great. I need to address this before I go, and then I'm literally ripping the plug out of the wall. It is expensive to put a rack together. Not going to joke about it. That DAW, to get those plugins, especially that downward expander, I was working with a friend, Jerry. He was like, well, turn the downward expander on or off. He's like, holy crap. That is incredible. Now, if you were to purchase all of that gear, you're probably looking at like $3,000 worth of stuff. And the DAW is free. You got it all in the DAW for nothing. All you need is a decent sound card. So there you go. It's not as stable as the analog stuff, but bang for the buck. I'm never going to poo-poo the DAW because, man, what you can do with that, you can't do with a rack unless you spend a lot of money. And all those plugins are free that are on that website. Everything's free except the freaking card. And if you think about it, that's a very minor investment, and it works well. Works well. Let me put it this way, if I didn't have the rack, I wouldn't buy the rack gear. I would just run the DAW. So there you go. I would definitely not spend money on rack gear. No way. I already have the stuff, so who cares? We'll see y'all later. 7-3 gang.